This is Stormcleave Outpost on normal and hard.
Lush jungles give way to a blasted landscape. As far as the eye can see, toppled by the ages, a column bridges the gap over a burned-out scorpion's feast upon corpses ahead. Minotaurs have gathered here for some nefarious purpose. Ogres have gathered in a small camp ahead. A pack of wolves appears to have caught an unfortunate traveler on his way to the outpost. General Xantalar's forces have overrun these lands. You must proceed with caution. Xantalar's minions stand before you. You must strike back at the general his troops.
The key thing in this first area is just making sure we don't miss these things, these runes that FTP. There's, I believe, 2 in this first area, and if we miss them, we'll have to backtrack.
A pillar stands with 2 runes set along its side. The air bristles with yet another.
Any of these cave type places, giant caves, you can skip. They're just all optionals. Alright, there's the Just want to make sure before you go under that fallen pillar that you first have the two runes lit, so you don't have to backtrack.
A fire giant, 6 large crates dominate the camp ahead. They seem to annex has been destroyed. Stormcleave Outpost will take up the shard of stone. With a rude gesture, an armor-clad giant invites you to approach and meet your doom.
So this is kind of the end area after we do all the runes, and then we get all these other giants, then we go to that area last.
Crates are stacked uncaringly in the back of the giant. One of the general's lieutenants. Inskadrir is slain. You take up the shard of stone.
Alright, well, I should have sold before I did this. Let's see. Grab some of these wands. Scrolls. Because I have to have enough room to pick up the mandatory quest items, so I'm just going to clear that, and I'll just loot anything that looks really interesting, I guess. And I may have to delete, I may even have to delete a hireling. Contract. Alright, that's good. Don't need the scroll of rage. And make sure I got this. Yep. Don't have much room, but I at least want to take a look and see what's there. I think my gem bag must be full too. Nope. Let's see. Yeah, this is about the
Dimensional
hardest
gate
part of this
atop
fight,
the hill,
or
you
this
spy
quest.
a fire giant. He beckons you closer, grinning wickedly.
Casters, normal, doesn't matter too much. And that spear blocking of 6 damage is really helpful now, because you can see I'm taking a lot of zeros. It's lots of attack, so it's a pretty significant boost. I'll be taking some on elite, but still, 6 less per arrow.
You take up the shard of stone.
Robe of Winter. Alright, so not bad for a level 6 item, and it's unbound, so we might be able to sell it. Let's take the gems. Things that'll go in bags. See how we're doing on space. I think we have one more of those to get. We've got a few spaces, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this. And I'm just going to, that's just plat basically. I'm going to leave that there since we're low on space. So I really should get in the habit of selling. I haven't sold for several quests. And I really should, oh wait, I need to click this around. I really should get in the habit of selling after every single quest. Or at least every other.
With the elemental wards removed, the dimensional gate disappears with a near silent pop.
And if memory serves me, the last guy and last rune are together, so we should just find them in the same spot.
At the back of a camp, you spy a large minotaur. One of the giants who punishes the minotaur Mortalos is no more. You take up the shard of stone.
Alright, so I think I should be good there. Not going to worry about the potion. And that's... I'll take it. I mean, I can always get rid of it later, but I'm not going to bother with the potion.
Hold the rune posts connected. Return to the summoning circle behind the outpost.
All right, so yeah, the summoning circle is kind of interesting because there's an interesting mechanic where the boss is really hard to damage. He's got all these forms of damage reduction, and there's ways you can mitigate the damage reduction by, defeating a certain enemy that he has kind of like caged up or behind a barrier. So that's going to be sort of the theme of what we do is try to, uh, we're melee, so the one we want to get is the earth elemental. Casters would want to get something different. So that's down here. Oh, nope, wrong way. Run, next one over. Here.
Along abandoned
Just click the head.
heat from your body flows into the stone. You shiver as magic gathers in the still air.
And we might be able to power through it on normal. Probably could, but I'm going to take care of it anyways.
The giant in the center of this room could be a fearsome giant. Ribbons of energy burning along the wall, conveying some secret power.
So, you can see we're having no problem. He's got damage reduction, but we're having no problem taking him down on
General's roars one last time in angry defiance, then crumples to the ground.
So you still have those items. And this is what you do. You just basically go in here, and then that would, you can see that basically gets rid of his. We didn't need it on normal, but we'll need it on Reaper, and that's how you get rid of his damage reduction. Now we have to do is go back and report our victory. That's just basically a lot of running. Here's a chest I missed. Not that I have room for it, but let me just see if there's any good in there. I don't want to miss a good thing. Left in the bag, we get the gold, and then I guess we'll save our last slot. You do have to be careful, quests where you pick things up. I've actually glitched it before by having full inventory and then not picking up the slot and then not being able to go back and do it later. Forget what quest that is, but that you have to be careful for that sort of thing. And so we talked to the gate warden, Ironclaw, to actually cross this bridge and get through this barrier. But to end the quest, we actually talked to a different guy that we haven't yet talked to, Outpost Commander. So you just go over, take a right here, and then up this ramp, the guy on the left. Now, a bunch of enemies are going to charge out of there, but there's a little bit of a delay for that. So what I'm going to do is just talk to him and recall out, because that's just an optional there that's going to spawn soon, and it's just defeat a bunch of enemies, and you might get a chest, but I need to sell anyways. All right, so I have one spot for my end reward. Let me see what it is. Looks like something to sell to a vendor. So I'm going to just grab this, and then I'm going to pause it while I sell and repair, and then I'll start up on hard. All right, going back in on hard.
Lush jungles give way to a blasted landscape. As far as the eye can see, gray silt and burned plants, replaced, toppled by the ages. A column bridges the gap over a burned-out scorpions feast upon corpses ahead. Minotaurs have gathered here for some nefarious purpose. Ogres have gathered in a small camp ahead. A pack of wolves appears to have caught an unfortunate traveler on his way to the outpost. General Xantalar's forces have overrun these lands. You must proceed with caution. Xantalar's minions stand before you. You must strike back at the general of his troops. A pillar stands with two runes set along its side. The air bristles.
And we've gotten our 2 pillars, or our 2 runes before we've got to this thing, so that's we know we didn't miss one.
A fire giant has 6 large crates dominate the canopy. They seem to have a significant You have slaughtered Portador. The last of the Magefire cannon crates has been destroyed. Stormcleave Outpost. Take note. You take up the shard of stone.
Well, this is nice. This would give us 50 spell points, and it's level 8. So that might be worth, because I don't. We have a wizardry item. Never mind. Our wizardry item is 96, so we don't need this. We could either sell that or trade that. But that's a nice item there, level 8 augment.
A long abandoned amphitheater provides
This is the end area. I was just kind of clearing it out, but don't really need that till the end, so I'm not going to
With a
continue
rude
forward.
gesture, an armor-clad giant invites you to approach, and crates are stacked uncaringly in the back of the giant's head, some bearing the seal of House. One of the general's lieutenants has fallen. Inskadrir is slain. You take up the shard of stone.
This is about the toughest fight we have here, so I'm going to go ahead and just buff up real quick.
A dimensional gate looms. Atop the hill, you spy a fire giant. He beckons you closer, grinning wickedly. Take up the shard of stone. The elemental ward removed. The dimensional gate disappears with a near silent pop. At the back of a camp, you spy a large minotaur clad in one of the general's lieutenants has fallen. Minotaur Lord Halos is no more. All the rune posts have been activated. Return to the summoning circle behind the outpost. You take up the shard of stone.
And now it's just back to that first area, the area that we end area where we cleared earlier, and fight that giant.
Heat from your body flows into the stone. You shiver as magic gathers in the still air.
And this time we're going to kill the elemental first, even if we can kill the giant, just so you can see the impact it has.
The giant in the center of this room could only be the fearsome jungle. Bristles, walls, and waves on the
Get that champion. Now I'm going to just get this earth element. All right. You can see basically all orange numbers. Yeah, it may not matter too much on hard. We might be able to have gotten away with that on hard without doing that, but on Reaper we're certainly going to want to do that. And I'm not sure what type it is, if it's just a damaging or if it's just overall damage reduction, but it's quite a bit on Reaper. This is a place where I'd love to be able to use my horse, because all we're doing is basically walking to the end. You know, back the way we came, and it's completely cleared. There's nothing left unless there's one or two wandering sort of enemies that we didn't catch. The quest is over since we talked to him. Just gonna back up a little and recall. I'm not sure how long it takes before they start pouring out. I think it's at least 30 seconds to a minute. right, we've got some really, really good rewards today. Let's see what I get here. Well, interesting. Cold resistance, fire absorb, cloak. So nothing too interesting. But let me just show you because I don't know if this one was so obvious before, but I just got this, which is accuracy 5, deadly 4, double strike 4% gloves, which are pretty amazing. And then earlier I got the Anarchic Blue Shine Quarterstaff, which is the second Blue Shine Quarterstaff that dropped for us, and we also picked one up in the auction house, but they seem extremely rare. Like I never see them in the auction house. Anyhow, that is Stormcleave Outpost on normal and hard.